I knew the gaze was on me. The gaze of the camera was on me. So I felt exposed. I still remember the first time when I decided and when I felt that inspiration to record a video and to share it with the world. I remember I was sitting on my couch. I used to live in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, in this beautiful duplex apartment with a huge balcony overlooking the jungle. It was so peaceful and absolutely an inspiring place. And I was sitting on my couch and meditating. And as I was coming out of the meditation, feeling absolute bliss and ecstasy and gratitude for everything, I just wanted to share that feeling with the world. I wanted to share how life-changing gratitude can be in one's life. And that was also the period of my life in which I was just getting into that path of spirituality and personal development. And I was ecstatic because my whole life I've been living this unconscious, mindless life. And I just wanted to share with the world how amazing it is to kind of just get grounded and be in the present moment, like everything changes. So I was like, oh, I need to share that with the world. So my instinct, my impulse was then to take my phone and record a video and just post it somewhere on social media, on my Instagram, on Facebook. And so as I was feeling that flow and that muse and that inspiration, the moment I hit the record button, everything changed. It felt like my flow just got absolutely interrupted and everything went blank. And I couldn't say anything. I couldn't even think. It's like my mind just got empty. And I was trying to speak. I was trying to find the words that were just seconds ago flowing naturally and effortlessly in my mind. I couldn't even make a sentence. So I tried. I took one take, second take, third take. I got frustrated with myself. I got frustrated because I didn't understand. I was struggling. So then I got back into that present moment. I got back into that meditative state. And I realized that the reason why I was struggling to get even a word out, that moment when I knew the camera was recording, was because I knew the gaze was on me. The gaze of the camera was on me. So I felt exposed. I felt that I was being watched. And the moment that I felt that I'm being watched, I became self-conscious. I got into the state in which my whole attention was on me. My whole focus was on me. How do I look like? What do I sound like? What if my hair isn't perfect? What if I say something stupid? How is my background? Is the quality of the camera good? What would people think about me? What if they think that what I'm saying is stupid? And what if they judge me? So all of a sudden, that flow, that inspiration that I had just seconds ago to share something that just inspired me disappeared, and my whole flow was gone and my whole attention was now on me. And I just asked myself, what was your intention for recording this video in the first place? What was the intention? And the intention was really to just share something that inspired me with the world, because I knew that people might benefit from that, because I benefit from that. I wanted to share that with the world. It's almost like having this absolutely delicious cupcake and it was one of the best things that you've tasted in the world. So now naturally you just want to share it with people and say, hey, you must try this cupcake. It's so good, it's so delicious, it's the best thing I've ever tried. Like, you just want to share it with people. You want people to test it, to try it, to experience what you experienced. So that was my intention. I have no other agenda. I have no agenda. It was just purely to share that. Now, I asked myself, what was my intention? That was my intention. And then I put a conscious effort, a lot of it. I put a conscious effort to shift my focus from me to others, from inwards outwards. So it's no longer about me. That video is not about me. It's about my message. It's about my intention. It's about the people that I'm speaking to. So the moment I made that shift and I just put my whole attention outwards, the flow came back, and now I could speak. Now I could speak smoothly, effortlessly, and I could actually get through. I could get through to people. I could get through with the whole video. And I posted that video, and quite frankly, that was the first time that people were engaging with my video, and they felt it. They felt it on a very deep level. And the reason is because I was authentic. I was just simply sharing my truth. And when you share your truth with people, they can resonate because it's real, it's true, it's honest, it's authentic. And that made me realize, though, that I was behaving in those same ways in my life, not just in front of the camera, but in front of people. And one thing is that as women, we are conditioned to always be very self-conscious, to always have the attention on ourselves, on how do we look good, is there some imperfection I must fix about myself, let me adjust my brow, what if my skirt doesn't look good. Like, our attention is always on us and how we look and how we sound and how other people perceive us. And one of the reasons for that is because for the longest time women were objectified sexually, and so we have learned that our worth and our value comes from the way we look. So in the real world, that is the male gaze, right? The male gaze, which is on us, instantly shifts our focus inwards on us. How do I look? How do I sound? And in this case, with recording a video, it's the gaze of the camera, but it's the same type of gaze. It does the same kind of thing. And being a woman, yeah, that's for sure one thing that adds on the struggle to be vulnerable, to dare to be vulnerable and to be authentic and to actually express yourself in the way that you want to express yourself. Like for me, for the longest time, I don't know how many years I've been wanting to share things with the world, to record videos, to start a YouTube channel, to make Instagram reels, to just speak. Honestly, it was just, for me, it was just about speaking. So I have a podcast, I have I'm writing a blog, I do a lot of posts, but most of the time I never dared to be absolutely authentic. There was always a level of performance. There was always some sort of mask that I would put on because being authentic, being completely me, meant being vulnerable, meant being imperfect. And being imperfect means being absolutely exposed to judgment, to judgment from others. And that meant being terrified. I mean, it meant really, for a lot of us, for women, as I said, but also for people in general like me, who have been people pleasing our whole life and who have been perfectionists and who have been hiding in the shadows of that perfectionism just so that we can be liked and accepted. That even feels scarier. Like, to show up authentically really feels like you are putting your life on the line. Because when you perform, when you put on a mask, let's say in the coaching industry, I see that a lot, and I used to do it too. You show the good side, you show the perfect side of you, you present yourself and your personal brand in the best way possible. I get that, of course, but the moment you put on a mask and present yourself as a particular type of person, and you choose a little vulnerable side to show of yourself, but is still performative because you choose it in a way that it's not the deepest and the most dark side of you, the most raw and vulnerable side of you. It's a very carefully chosen vulnerable side to show. And I get it, because if someone judges you on the internet for that, and you receive a hateful comment or something like that, it's not gonna hurt as much, because you know that you didn't show your complete, raw, naked, authentic self. There is still a side of you that you know people don't know. You still know that that side of you is for you. And so it might hurt, but it's not gonna hurt as bad as if you were completely vulnerable and exposed and completely authentic. I used to do that a lot, and I see people do that, and I get it. I absolutely get it. And I have so much compassion, honestly, for all of us who are struggling to show up authentically. I have so much compassion for us, because honestly, for so many years, I've been scared to show up authentically and to speak my truth, because of fear of how I would be perceived. And I know how limiting that feels in my body, in my heart, in my soul. It feels like a self-betrayal. It feels like a self-betrayal. There is this spark inside of you. There is this like passion. There is this potential that you so desperately want to unleash and to let out and to just speak your truth, saying yes when you want to say yes and no when you want to say no. There is this spark within you that you've been suppressing for so many years. There is no amount of performance on social media, there is no amount of external validation that you can get to fill that void, because you can never ever step into your full potential if you are not completely yourself, if you don't dare to live courageously and authentically. There is no way. I've tried for so many years. I've been like a chameleon, trying to adapt to any situation. I could become anybody people wanted me to be, just so that I can be accepted and liked. And I've been people pleasing for so many years. I've been pushing my own boundaries for so many years, and I have barely even gotten to know myself. I didn't even know who I was. Like, what does it even mean to be my authentic self? Who am I? Right? I reached that point in which I asked myself that question: who am I? And the thing is, in order to discover who I am, in order to know who my authentic, what is the most authentic expression of self is, I had to be okay with being imperfect, and I had to be okay with digging into the unknown and be okay with things getting messy. and not knowing the outcome, and just simply experiencing whatever it is that I would experience by following passions, by following impulses and downloads. Right, let's say you have an inspiration, you have a download to write a poem, or to record a video, or to start your own business, or to whatever it is. And then when you sabotage that because you don't know the outcome, because you are perfectionist, because it's not the perfect or the right time, because la 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 la. I know the drill. I've been doing it for so many years, and I know you know it too. You don't actually give yourself chance to explore who you are, because who you are is actually, well, first of all, you're not a constant. There's nothing permanent in this life, but you can explore the constantly changing versions of you. And I think that's who you really are. I think we are constantly changing and growing. I don't believe that you can choose one identity and say, that's me, that's who I am, that's what I'm gonna talk about for the rest of my life, that's my niche, that's who I am, and I'm gonna double down on that. But I think the real exploration, the real authenticity, the real raw authenticity, like what living in your truth really means, is to dare to courageously explore your own evolution and be okay, become comfortable with plunging into any change that occurs, with any change that occurs in your life, following your passions, following your impulses, like exploring yourself. And it really comes down to trusting yourself and your own wisdom to take the right choices for you at any given moment. Anyway, I need to go now. But thank you so much for watching, and I shall keep recording those videos. I shall keep you updated with any further realizations that I have. Have a beautiful day ahead.